How did I become a full-time artist 20 years ago? And how do you become a full-time artist today? I'm gonna share with you timeless tips you can use no matter what year it is. Let's go. Before we get into today's video, if you're enjoying videos like this, hit that like button down below so these pop up for you in the future. Also, I ask that you consider subscribing. Maybe right now you're just doing art as a hobby. Maybe you even just got out of art school and you're thinking, how do I transition to become a full-time artist? And some of these tips may have something to do with art. Some of these tips may just be based on mindset. But let's start this story. It was between when I was 18 and 20 years old. But to really understand how I maximize this time in my life, we have to go back to my younger years, growing up. A lot like most of you, art was always a constant thread throughout my life, creating non-stop. I would also do these weird extra credit reports for my teacher, and I would draw animal skeletons for some reason, but I would turn them in. They would give me extra credit. Also growing up, another huge influence on me creatively was learning how to play the trumpet. I know, super random. My parents wanted me to learn music, so that's the instrument I chose, and it was amazing. Honestly, it was life-changing, and I didn't realize until how it would play out later on. It helped me appreciate music on a whole different level, and I didn't know that until I started getting into it, playing jazz music, playing classical music, and it opened me up to just other music styles in different genres. As I got into middle school, I was getting more into graffiti because I was into hip-hop culture, and being an artist, being a creative, naturally I was gravitating towards graffiti. But also, I not only loved doing the letters, I also loved creating the characters, and I realized that yes, I like doing graffiti, but I also love the art and creative side of it as well. Then getting into high school, I got into animation, creating cartoons, creating animated films, but also learning about sound and editing. I mean, up until that point, it was a pretty broad range of these different creative endeavors. And of course, being me, I didn't have enough of it, so I thought, let's add one more to the mix. Maybe I was unfocused, maybe I was just open to it, I don't know, but believe it or not, all these eventually came together, which I'll share in a little bit. I remember meeting one of my friends in high school and going up to him. He had this dance group, and I was like, I gotta join it. So I went up to him, I said, I wanna learn how to dance. So he said, sure. Show up to my garage and we'll start training. So I did. We started training. I joined his dance group, and before you know it, I'm performing around my local city at different schools, cotillions, quinceañeras. I mean, you name it, we would show up. If there was a stage, we'd be there to perform. But I started learning about stage presence and how to move my body around. And again, keep in mind, art was still always there. Art was this constant thread throughout my life. Even though I was playing the trumpet growing up, even though I was into graffiti and animation and even dance, whether it was art related or not, art was still constant. Now, this is the part where I had a lot of hard decisions to make. Senior year of high school, my counselor called me in her office. She said, David, you're not gonna graduate. The time that you didn't care about showing up, freshman, sophomore, even junior year, there's not enough time to make it up. And so at that time, when she's telling me this, I already had these dreams to go to art college. I wanted to work on animated films. I wanted to work for Disney, and I really felt like my dreams were being crushed, and my art dreams for the future weren't gonna happen. Little did I know that was probably one of the biggest surprises of my life at that time. So now I'm 18 years old, living in Sacramento. I'm just working odd jobs. I was moving around from place to place, and I was still doing dance, but I still felt in my heart that I should be doing art. I just didn't know how this was gonna look, especially because now I wasn't able to attend art college, and I thought that was the only path. I thought that to be a professional artist, to show in galleries, you have to come from an art college. I was probably just brainwashed from this art system. In 2003, I was 20 years old. It was time to break free of this mindset. And I just started thinking about what are the things that I'm into outside of art? What are my passions? And I started really defining those. Obviously, music from early on. I played the trumpet, but I just had this appreciation for this style of music, which was like an urban jazz, kind of underground hip hop style of music. I had to really define and do a self-check journey to say, this is who I am and this is what I enjoy. And I recommend anyone really just taking time. Maybe you need to meditate. Whatever gets you to that place to help you define what do you enjoy outside of doing art. So once I realized I love music, this urban jazz style, and I enjoy dance, I thought, why don't I go paint live? And here's the thing, I had never done this before. So real quick, yes, now I'm a performance painter, I do it professionally, but at 20 years old, I had no live painting experience. I just knew I loved art and I loved this style of music. So I went to this small urban jazz night on a Wednesday night in Sacramento, California. I brought my brushes, I brought my canvas, I set up right next to the DJ, and I just started painting live. And each week, each painting that I didn't sell, I would bring back and I would just display it. And I want you to remember this, the gatherings become your gallery. That gathering every Wednesday night became my gallery. And here's the cool part, that band started doing other shows. So I was kind of like an unofficial member of the band, and I would just go set up next to them no matter where they went. And each of those gatherings again became my gallery. Now, where this transition started, so how do you become a full-time artist? It means that you are providing solely for yourself from your art sales, and you're able to sustain this over time. The reason why I was able to start selling art so quickly and consistently was because what I was creating and where I was creating it. I was creating imagery and images of this urban jazz culture in these settings where people were celebrating and creating this music style. From that point on, things started to progress fast. I mean, from 20 to 21, I transitioned into becoming a full-time artist. I'm turning 40 this year. Oh my God. It's crazy. I can't believe I'm turning 40. I'm turning 40 this year. It's been 20 years of doing this. And now it started off as a foundation of connecting the art style that I enjoyed creating with the passion I had for that style of music. And that momentum that was created led to other opportunities. But I still want to focus on this period, this transitioning to becoming a full-time artist. What can you do today, whether you're on social media or not? I would recommend at least these tips. So take time to think about what is a community you are part of right now, and ask yourself, where do they gather? And that third question is, what can I create that celebrates this community? Or the images represent who we are, you, that community, all of you. And here's the next part. And you don't need social media to do this. I want you to identify at least, 1 to 5 different organizations or groups or gatherings of people that represent this thing that you believe in. Yes, it could be music related, it could be animal related, it can be action sports, it can be specifically to the city that you live in, it can be birds, it can be health and wellness. I mean, you can go on and on, just starting to define more. What are the groups that represent these beliefs? Those are who you want to connect with. And that is where you want to set up your space, whether you're painting live. I highly recommend it. Or if you just put work on display around the people that your work is celebrating. And that is the quickest way to transition to become a full-time artist today. And you have a better chance of selling work more consistently to this community that you're connected with. If you enjoy videos like this, be sure to hit the like button down below so that these videos pop up for you. And also, if you really want to come along for the creative ride, we just ask that you consider subscribing. For those of you that want to go on a bigger coaching experience, really trying to help your mindset with this transition to becoming a full-time artist, or maybe you already are a full-time artist and you just need some help rethinking where you are, I've got some courses and coaching experiences available at paintplus.io. You can apply for the coaching experience, and those spots do fill up quick, and we're about to start our new session soon. So check out paintplus.io. My name is David Garibaldi. Thanks for coming along with this ride. Also, check out these videos.